excited. I am so excited for today. I cannot believe today is our first live stream of the summit. Now, I will tell you, everybody, I am working solo today, and I want to make sure that you all can hear me. I've got my earbuds in, but I'm not quite sure if it's working or not. So if you can do me a big favor and just comment in the comment section that you can hear me, that would just really, I could, well, when you're trying to do all these tech things by yourself, it's a little bit nerve-wracking. So I just want to make sure everybody can hear me. All right. Yes. Awesome. People can hear me. Woohoo! How'd you like that music to kind of get everybody going? I have been scouring all of the royalty-free type music for me to pick for this episode. And that one just really kind of spoke to me. So I'm so excited that you guys are here. Let me introduce myself for those of you who do not know. My name is Brandy Mahon, and I'm the creative owner of Stamp Me Some Love. I own Stamp Me Some Love shop, the blog, as well as our stamping or craft academy. And then, of course, I own Card Maker Success Summit. And I want to say that I'm really excited for you all. You are in for a treat today. We've got the folks over from Sizzix on today, and they're going to show us a lot of good stuff. Now, before we get to that, and I'm going to introduce who's going to be presenting today, I do want to make sure that we've got some housekeeping things to put out before we kind of get into it. The first thing is that I want to make sure that everybody has registered for a giveaway, because after our demonstration today, I'm going to be giving away 5 VIP All Access Passes. Yes, that's right. And if you've already purchased your VIP All Access Pass, no worries, I'm going to refund you that price. All right. The other thing is that if you have not registered for the Card Maker Success Summit, you need to do so right now so that you get notified on all of the good stuff that we're going to be doing over the next week. Our official kickoff is going to be Wednesday, next Wednesday at 7 p.m. And today is just kind of like a pre-summit, pre-party with the folks over at Sizzix. They have graciously sponsored the summit this year, and I'm so excited to be working with them. So don't forget, one thing, go to Card Maker Success Summit and register for your free ticket to the summit. And then if you are interested in registering for the giveaway, make sure that you go to that banner down below and click on that. And then one other thing. So we've got the VIP All Access Pass that I'm going to be giving away at the end of our live stream today. I'm going to be giving away 5. And if you're not one of our lucky winners, you can definitely go ahead and pick one up yourself. It includes all of our presentations, which is approximately 25 plus pre-recorded presentations, all of our live streams, all of our bonuses. There's a workbook in there. It's just a lot of information. It's worth over $1,200, and you can get it for a very special price right now. All right, so without further ado, let me just turn all of those banners off. All right, I am going to bring to the stage, and I'm so super excited. Let's bring... All right, we've got Alexis Trimble from Sizzix. Thank you, Alexis, for coming on board today.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Absolutely, we are having so much fun. I'm going to tell you that I'm looking at the people that we've got online right now, and it looks like we've got nearly 400 people already watching us. So wow. No pressure, no pressure. All right. So now I know that we've got something special that we want to show our audience today. So let me just put that banner up right now before I forget. All right. So there's our lucky banner right there. Tell us a little bit about what we're going to do today.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for having us. So we just had our first chapter release of the year. We come out with 4 chapters a year. So chapter 1 is mostly spring, summer icons, but we like to include Evergreen in there as well. So you'll be able to use the stuff all year round. So what I've done is pull my favorites from the chapter 1 release, and I'm going to walk you through some really fun card makes, as well as
awesome
some of like my tried and true classic favorites, which I will share all the SKU numbers for everybody.
Awesome.
And we'll just go. I got a couple simple demos as well.
Okay.
So
Awesome. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put your other screen, your other camera onto the stream.
okay.
And then I'm going to make that one solo. All right. All right. You're up, Alex.
Okay. So I'm going to start off with like general card making. Some of my favorite kind of things to create when you're just looking for some simplistic kind of ideas. Some of the dies that will work really well for that. So this first one is called Build an Animal, and it's by Pete Hughes, and it's 665-817. And I just want to show you how small the packaging is because it's just simple shapes. And what he's done is you can create all of these really cute little animals from these simple shapes. So I went ahead and I created a couple little cards. I love animals and puns. So this first one I did was, I'm not lying, you're the cutest. And what I did on the background is I used this new embossing folder we have called Leafy Patterns. So you can see, we love our 3D embossing. It is so beautiful in person. Sometimes it's hard to capture on camera, but I love the idea of just taking a simple little thing and using it as the focal point on a card. I also have another one. Miss you pig time.
Oh, so cute.
So many puns you can find online for all of these animals. I kind of had a hard time pulling it down to just 2. But this one I use the rhombus pattern, which is a multi-level folder we have that released in chapter 1. So it's great. You can just use these icons by themselves for cards. They're also great if you wanted to use them for party favors or decorations for parties. But I love that you can kind of keep it simple and fun for people's birthdays all year round.
You know, Alexis, this is not really card related, but what I immediately thought of is doing like little puppets on popsicle sticks.
Love that idea. That's a great idea, actually. If you see that show up on a blog, I'll make sure to give you credit.
Okay. Sounds great.
I'm sure, because we love creative play at Sizzix. The next thing I wanted to show was another kind of animal feature, but this one, these are just too cute not to show. Let me grab the card. So we have this other one called Pocket Pals, and the Pocket Pals are literally just that. They're little fox and bunny and a bear inside of a pocket. But what I love about these little animals is how you can just use them as the focal point. And I think that that's something we forget in card making is like sometimes simple is stunning. So I like to
totally agree with you.
Right? I mean, I'd like a good advanced project too, but sometimes I just want something that stands out and it's the cute little features. So this one we use some of our stamps on. The How Amazing You Are is part of this stamp set called Positive Signs. We all believe in positivity over here. So this one I used How Amazing You Are. But we just had some really nice sentiments that we had come out in chapter 1 that work great year round. But also if you just need to like send me a little pick me up to a friend or a family member, if they're having a bad day.
Yeah. So Alexis, Barbara Matthews, who's watching us on YouTube, she said that they would make great tags as well. Yes. And I've got her little comment right there on the screen there. So shout out to Barbara.
Yes, Barbara, I agree. They are, and they're about 3 inches. Like they're a pretty decent size. Even the little Pocket Pals, they're pretty decent size as well. So then my next one, again, just using one die as like a feature. This one is a 3D impresslet called Floral Heart. And I'm going to show you an example. I just want to, I'm showing you the packaging so you can see about the size of the die or the embossing folder. But I do have samples of them as well.
Okay.
This one is so intricate, but the idea with 3D impresslets is that they cut and emboss at the same time. So
my goodness.
Folder is a die, and so you can do 2 technologies at once, which is incredible. But
would you be able to open that up and show us? Because I don't think I've ever seen that before.
And I actually can demo it if you guys want me to.
Oh, that would be
Actually, I have
fabulous.
one open here. Right here, let me grab
I didn't mean to steal your show. Sorry.
No, oh my gosh, I'm so happy to show you anything. So as you can see, the folder has the impression right here. So you get the 3D embossing, but then in the folder is one of our thinlets. So when you're running it through the machine, it cuts and embosses at the same time.
How amazing is that?
This is what it looks like before you do anything to it.
Oh my goodness. Now let me ask you a question. Does that the metal die, is it possible to come out, or is it stuck there?
It's stuck there.
Okay, gotcha.
Now that you bring that up though, and I don't know if I brought one in with me, maybe one of my colleagues can bring one to me if they're watching, is a Switchlit technology, which is exactly like this, but the dies are interchangeable. So you might have one, like the embossing will stay the same, but then you can switch out the design that cuts around it.
Oh,
it's incredible. And if someone
can bring one, awesome. Yeah, that would be so great if someone could bring you that.
Lindsay, they're at my desk. Yeah, there's Floral label or the spring leaves. Someone's going to grab
I'm seeing all kinds of comments here saying, okay, who's starting a shopping list already?
Yes. So the link that is in the banner will take you to all of our chapter 1 releases. And I tried to make sure that anything I included today is still available, because some of the stuff is selling out really quickly. But anything that's not part of chapter 1, I will say the name and give you the SKU as well. But I also wanted to show you, this is Art Nouveau, which I'm trying to, it's hard to tell in the light if it's showing up. This is one of our multi-level folders. And what I like to do is combine embossing. So I did a card where I used that heart as, thank you. I used that heart as the focal point. And then I did that background with some luster wax. And just a simple love you. But I love, like, it's a simple card, but there's a lot of texture there. So now
you're calling those multi-level embossing folders? Is that what you said?
Yes. So
is that similar to what we might think of as 3D embossing?
Yes. So 3D, I know when we came out with it, I had to ask myself. So 3D embossing is, there's a lot of valleys and mountains, and you can get a lot of texture. So like a ripple effect for water, that kind of stuff. But with multi-level, it's literally built kind of in levels. So it's not as organic of a shape or a feeling, but it is still dimensional.
Gotcha.
So someone grabbed me a Switchlit. And I'm just going to grab a piece of paper and I can demo it for you guys, because I've got my pick shot right here.
Perfect. Someone was asking what sandwich you use, so I'm glad you're showing us.
Absolutely. So let me grab a piece of paper real quick, which I have tons of right here. So with the Switchlit, it is a 3D embossing folder. So you're going to get a lot of intricate detail on it. But what's cool about it, so this is the actual folder, and inside there's magnets embedded into the folder.
Okay.
And what that allows you to do is take the 3 designs that come with it and line it up around the embossing.
Oh my goodness.
It stays in place because it's magnetized. Now, with any 3D embossing, because we're asking the paper to have so much give, you don't want it to tear. So we always recommend using like a water spritzer, and I'm just going to do that off camera. So I like to get mine pretty wet. And then because it's going to cut it, I'm not really worried about cutting it down to size. Now, as far as the sandwich on our platform, you're going to look for the 3D textured impressions. It works the same way. It's a 3D folder. So you only need one cutting pad, the standard platform, and your folder. And then so you put the folder down, put that over. I recommend always running through at least twice just for that impression. I sometimes do 3 times, but you'll see.
What a time saver.
Right? And then this pops right out. And then you're left with this really beautiful cut shape that's embossed.
Aw, that is beautiful. And
So
the whole, you know, sometimes we will stamp and then you put the die on it and you tape it down to make sure it doesn't move.
yeah,
But, you know, sometimes you just can't get an exact, you know, match, I guess.
100%. And that's what I love about this. The magnet really does keep them in place. And like you can see, I have 3 label shapes, but they're all going to fit around
Yes.
that embossing.
Oh, I can totally see a tag. Definitely.
This is a stunning one. And I almost pulled it and I just was like, we've got so much else to go through. And so I'm glad you brought it up because I really was going to bring it. But yeah, so that's the switchlets. We had 2 come out in the chapter 1 release. We had spring leaves and then the one I just showed you, which is floral labels.
Gotcha.
There are more available. We've done like wax seals around the Christmas time last year. There's just lots of really cool shapes that we've maybe got coming out.
Hint, hint.
So, yes, exactly. A little sneak peek. So then the next kind of area for general card making I like is kind of how you can take something and make it very evergreen.
Okay.
These ones are not chapter 1, but you can do this with any set when it comes out. So I like taking floral dies and turning them into 4 season cards. So we have this one right here, and I've got some of them behind me. Let me grab it off the background.
Mm-hmm.
This is this one, which is the flowers.
Oh, those are beautiful.
So we've got spring, summer, fall, winter. And what we did with those was just do the same pattern and repeat it. So you can have it for all year round. And I'm going to talk.
Can I tell you which one my favorite is? I'm just sorry. I love that one at the top where the yellow is the background. Yes. And then I love the one right below it.
The fall.
Yes. You know, I guess they're my 2 favorite seasons. Maybe that's why I love it.
They're my 2 favorite seasons. I am a huge fan of winter, but that's because I love the snow. So I know everyone else is like, you're crazy because I'm in California, but
yeah.
We had this one in chapter 3 called Floral Abundance. And this one was a great die set because it's just simplistic kind of florals. But you can see I just took the same layout and all you have to do is change colors.
Yep.
So anytime you see a floral die, you can make that work year round. And I want to show you how I did that with one that you wouldn't think to do that with.
Okay.
And this one is a layered Christmas flower. And I did that one even in 4 seasons. So
pretty.
You can make it every day, even though it's a poinsettia. You can make it look like an everyday flower. So that's one of my favorite tips for general card making. Just because it comes out in spring doesn't mean you have to only use it for spring.
Right. Exactly.
I got lots of samples. So if you need me to speed it up or slow it down, just let me know.
No, we're good. We're good.
Okay. So then one of our new chapter 1 dies is called Floral Contours. And this one I'm bringing in because it's spring, but I wanted to show how you can take a die and create your own shapes. So this die, obviously you can just use the one piece. You can have them in little floral bunches above and below a sentiment, or you can take the shapes and try to make them into a wreath. So you can kind of create your own layouts with some of these types of dies, which I love to do. And another tip, and this one I learned from Pete Hughes, is back your florals on a black panel. They pop off so much more than they would on anything else. So I did navy and black here, and I feel like the flowers just pop right off. So they become a great focal point.
Those are beautiful.
I'm also obsessed with flowers, so I tried to make sure I showed some variety today. Okay, I've got like a whole basket of cards. I'm just kind of moving through everything. This one's a personal favorite. My grandparents are from Ireland, and I grew up having cups of tea with my grandma, and I love flowers, so it's a combination of the two. This one's called Tea Time, and what's nice about this die set is that everything comes separate. So you have the teacup, which has some really beautiful details on it. But then you would think that all of these leaves are individually cut. They're not. It's one piece.
Oh, okay.
Layer on top of it. So I really like cards like this where you can take as little or as much as you want on a scene. So I like using die sets to create a scene so that they are on their own. So I did this one where I made them a little bit pop dotted up, give them a little foam, backed it with that Art Nouveau embossing folder again, and just made like a little mini card. So you can attach it in like a bouquet of flowers or on top of a gift. That's what I like to do with my super dimensional ones, is like they're the hand carries, I call them. Any of those kind of cards where you're like,
yes,
I spent 6 days making this, so I'm not putting it in the mail.
No.
Oh man. I also wanted to show a couple of others that that are previous releases. This one's called Funky Cactus by Tim Holtz. And the whole die set was just cactus. But I like how you can take those elements and turn them into their own scene. So I took them, I went like with a really funky color palette because I just liked it. But I like taking elements from a die set and making a scene. But I also like taking one element and turning it into a scene. So this is from a die set called Sweet Treats that came with like ice creams and popsicles and things like that, and donuts. So I just took the donuts and I made a donut box.
You are making me hungry right now.
Me too. So it's always possible to just create a scene on a card with one die. I think sometimes people think like they have to have all these die sets to make it happen, and you just don't.
Yeah.
But then if you start to get into the complicated stuff, adhesive sheets are my best friend for these next ones. So there are the dies that are much more intricate. You don't want to have to glue them down. So I will usually pull in my handy dandy adhesive sheets. We have them in 6x6, and we have ones that go through our Sidekick machine. So they're about like 2 by 4 inches.
Okay.
These I like to pre-back my cardstock with and then die cut, so that it turns them into stickers. All my die cuts then become stickers. So what I will use those for is really intricate die sets. So this one's in chapter 1, and it's called Layers Spring Flowers. Now, I don't know if I'm losing you.
Yeah, the video is frozen. I can hear you though.
Let's see. We have like direct connection.
Oh, you're back.
Okay. I was like, I don't know what's going on. Okay, so we have these ones that have like very detailed small pieces on them. I think it's still...
Yeah, it's a little bit slow. Let's see. Let me take you out of the stream first, and then we can put you back in and see if that does anything. Hold on one second.
We were doing so well.
I know we were. I know. Hold on one second. All right. Let me see here. All right. There you are. You know what? And I'm also hearing a little bit of an echo, so I'm not sure what that's all about.
I've got someone coming in to take a look for me.
Okay. All right. I'm going to put your overhead back in the stream and see if that improved anything.
Okay.
All right. Let me see your hands underneath that camera.
It's not even showing up on my screen.
Yeah. Well, you know what? This is where we just sort of have to punt and go with it.
You know what?
So
I can do it from here and hold them up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So let me remove that guy so I can see bigger, and then I'm going to make you solo.
Okay.
Right.
Sorry, we're having someone help me turn it off. Okay, so
No.
these spring flowers, they
Mhm.
have like really intricate details on them. So sometimes with those kind of intricate details, you don't want to have to hand glue those down and get all the mess. So I prefer to kind of just completely use adhesive sheets with this kind of stuff. So I have this card right here, and we did like a tall tulip right here, but then we also did the Happy Mother's Day.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And this one is another set. I'm going to pull my basket closer now. This is another die set from chapter 1. So you get all of these. This is called All Occasions. And as you can see, it works for all occasions. So it's great to have this for year-round card making. But I love how intricate and delicate this is, the script. So what makes your life easier is the easy application with the adhesive sheets.
Yes.
We also have
I agree.
this one, which is so beautiful for like if you're doing any Easter or spring makes. It's intricate floral egg. I almost said it wrong, so I wanted to make sure. So
that is so pretty.
So stunning in person, but it has all of these really, really small details, which if you're going to glue those on,
yes,
just make your life easier. Make them into a sticker. This took me 2 seconds to lay down last night.
So I noticed on your whiteboard example, it looks like there's a solid background
yes.
die, and then on that card you didn't put that on there. So, but it's still, I mean, you could still know that it's an Easter egg.
Yeah. So that's what's nice. You get the framelit that comes with it, but then you also get the like really intricate thinlit that you can use on its own.
Awesome.
But I just like easy die application, and especially like as we get more and more complicated with our dies and intricate, and that's something we're really known for here at Sizzix is our intricate dies. I wanted to show you guys a work in progress. If anyone out there is a very detailed kind of oriented card maker, we had this one come out in chapter 1, which I'm going to show you in a couple. I used it in a couple different areas, but it's called Botanic Scene, and it's a really intricate floral die. And I'm literally using adhesive sheets to fill it back in. So this is going to very much be like a card I probably don't send to anybody and I just keep. It's very intricate, but it's been actually really easy to put together because I just run it through in that color and then start putting them in with like a die pick, or what else was I using?
Little tweezers or
So there's a lot you can do with that stuff.
Lots of people are loving the floral die you just showed.
Oh, good. Yeah, that Botanic Scene is very popular. And when I was making the projects, it was still available on our website. And I went on this morning at same sold out. We will replenish that one. That one's too popular for it not to be replenished.
Does your website have the ability for people to put in their email if they want to be notified when it comes back into stock?
No, but we do have a newsletter, and the newsletter typically will send out like a notification when we have stuff in.
Cool.
So because the overhead's not working, I'm going to have to just talk you through this next one. I'm really sorry. We do have videos of this online that I've actually done. So if anyone's interested, you can go to Sizzix for this next technique.
Okay.
So
awesome.
That Botanic Scene card I just showed you guys.
And I think you guys have folks that are watching, at least on YouTube. You might want to ask them to insert the video if they can find that. So then folks that are watching can just go directly to it. Our folks that are in our Facebook group and our Facebook business page may not see the link, but we will definitely make sure everybody else knows about it afterwards.
Fabulous. Yeah, I'm going to actually write this down for my handy dandy friend right here, and then she will go and find it. I'm fairly certain if you go on YouTube and you search Emboss and Transfer, you should be able to find it on there, but we will try to find the video and we'll put it in the comments.
Awesome. Thank you.
I love that we're just, we're on the fly. We're just going to do this as we go.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, come on. We're not talking, Martha Stewart production here or anything.
Oh my gosh. It's a one-man show over here as well. The fact that someone helping me is not normal.
But it's awesome that we are, and we're live, and we have 626 people watching. I mean, that's just it's just amazing, I think, sometimes to know that it's a way to connect with people. So anyway, go ahead.
And it's something we've all kind of missed. Like I've missed going and doing workshops and seeing people in person. So this virtual world where we get to have 600 people at a time is so special as well.
No,
Especially because I can see the comments too. So it's really nice to see where everyone's tuning in from.
That's awesome.
This next portion, I'm going to talk about techniques, and thankfully most of them I just have samples for you. But this first one I was going to demo. One of the things that I love is showing people how to take your dies and actually use them a new way. So these intricate botanic scene cards where it's like that big floral piece, most people see those and they're like, well, what else can I do with it? I wanted to show people you can actually turn it into an embossing folder using the emboss and transfer set. So what you do...
Okay, I am so glad you are demoing this. Or you're going to talk us through it.
I'm going to talk you through it, but then we're going to link the video too. So I've done this on camera. I was going to demo, but clearly my overhead is not working, which it was the other day. But you're in the emboss and transfer set comes these two things. This is the silicone rubber, and then this is the impressions pad. And you need both in order to do this. So basically what this piece does is it replaces one of your cutting pads. And then this piece prevents it from tearing through your paper. So I've got some samples here, and I'm going to just walk you through kind of how it looks. You're going to take a piece of paper, cut it down to the size of the die that you want to use it with. These work really well with panel dies. So anytime you see like a large scale panel die, this technique's great with it, but it will also work with small dies as well. You want to get this pretty wet. So it's just like 3D embossing. We're asking it to emboss with a die. So you want to make sure you get both sides really wet. Then you're going to put the die on top. Then you're going to have your paper, your die, the silicone pad, and then the impression pad. And you're going to run that through. You don't want to hear it cracking. If it's cracking, it's cutting. So if you've got the paper wet enough, you won't hear a lot of cracking. And hopefully what you'll end up getting is something like this.
Oh, okay.
So I did this. I did the impression pad and the silicone rubber with that botanic scene card I just showed you guys. And then I went over it with some inks. And then because it did an embossing, I then was able to go around it with like a gel pen because I'm a glutton for detail. Here's what it looks like in black. So you can't see it in person. You can actually see the dimension. I've realized you can't really see it on camera, but you can go back and do the scene like that if you wanted to. This one is called Floral Lattice. It was in our release last year, but this is another one where it was a panel die. And then I ran it through the machine, got it to be 3-dimensional. And then I went over it with a clear embossing powder to give it like an enamel glaze.
Okay.
I like using, distress inks are great, but I actually really like distress oxides when you're doing backgrounds because the colors blend together really nice. Yes. So this was another one with that same embossing folder, or not. See, it's not even an embossing folder; it's a thinlits die.
So I meant to ask you when you showed me the sandwich. And
yes.
Let me
join the platform.
Okay.
Because that explains it on here too.
So you put the platform first,
yes,
and then the paper.
So you put the platform, and then you actually put one cutting pad down.
Okay. So that's what I was missing. I was like, that's going to ruin my platform.
Pad. No. And then you're going to put the die, which I cannot find in my pad right now, but you're going to put the die, the paper on.
I'm with you.
And then your silicone, because that's what's preventing the die from cutting through. So you want your silicone to be touching where your die would cut. And then what replaces the top cutting pad is the impressions pad.
Gotcha.
So the video,
I'm with you now.
All of it in the video, and hopefully she finds it and we're able to share that. But I was going to demo it so you could see it.
Somebody's asking, will this work on other types of machines? Do you know?
I don't. We haven't tested it, but if another machine has the ability to use a thinlits die or like a wafer thin die to emboss, then it should. It just depends on that company's machine and what it's capable of doing. But I can't say because I use Sizzix machines. But it should.
Yep.
If
it's
it's
all about trial and error. I mean, give it
Yeah.
a try and see if it works. What?
I usually Google stuff like that because someone has figured it out. Like,
Right,
guaranteed.
absolutely. And they've made a video on it.
Love it. So this is what that die looks like. It comes with a little banner. It's definitely a really intricate die. But I wanted to show you some other techniques that you can do that are a little bit more mixed media, we'll say.
All right.
As we get going, I'm going to advance these a little bit. So this is something I did with that same die. I like using those dies as stencils as well. So what you do is you're going to cut the die out of, you can do it out of cardstock or you can do it out of something like Yupo, and then you mask it off. And this one, I did distress inks through the stencil that I cut. And then I went over it with our crystal glaze.
Oh, that's amazing.
And it's so easy. It was so easy. I literally laid the stencil down, did my inking, and then cleaned off the stencil, laid it back in place, and then I ran over it with this lovely crystal glaze, which has a nice sparkle. And you can do a palette knife or our texture tool. Our texture tool looks like this, and it has like a really nice straight edge, and you can just apply the glaze on top. It's gorgeous. And I just let it.
Do you know if the Sizzix machine and like what you're just explaining that technique, will that work with like acetate paper or Mylar? You know, so you can keep the stencil a little bit longer.
Yeah, I mean, if you use the Chrome Precision base plate, it'll help. What that does is that's especially just on the Big Shot machine, it doesn't have quite as much pressure as like our fold away machine or our new Switch machine. So you would use the Chrome Precision base plate, and that gives it a little bit extra pressure, so it could cut through something maybe a little bit thicker. I haven't personally tested that out, but it has cut through Yupo, and that's a pretty thick surface, so I don't see why it would cut through acetate. And it cuts through shrink plastic, so I think it could. Yeah.
Give it a try.
Trial and error.
Right?
What we
Someone's
do all
asking to see that die again. Could you hold up that die?
So this is what it looks like if you were just to cut out the die itself. And then you can use the positive, negative. I always tell people keep the stencil, because then that stencil can become its own project as well.
Yeah.
I've got some others in here somewhere else where I've done paint in the background. So I'll paint a panel in the back and then just lay this over it. So you can do some really beautiful mixed media techniques. You could do an entire background with luster wax if you wanted to, or metallic flakes, or do foil on the top of this to add a little bit of extra to it. I think there's a lot of versatility with panel dies like this, and people just automatically assume, oh, I just use this. There's actually a lot of really cool things you can do with a panel die. That's why they're one of my favorites. And
you know what I'm thinking when you said foil, to potentially die cut it with toner paper, and then apply whatever foil or whatever, even those little tiny, little bitty pieces. That'd be cool.
I had some extra samples on the side, so I did that with this one.
Oh my goodness! See, we're on the same wavelength. We're just like,
I got you. And then this is actually out of metallic paper. So
yes,
you have just a metallic paper, and again, those adhesive sheets, you just peel and stick. So there's a lot of, these dies are really intricate. So
they are.
You can make them embossing folders. Like, they're not only thinlits and mixed media and stencils, they're also embossing folders. I think that there's just so much you can do with them, which is part of my favorite thing about my job, is getting to like just try out all these different ideas.
Yeah, you definitely have the best job.
I mean, I started doing this when I was 10, and I'm 37 now, so I've been doing it a long time. But I worked in a scrapbook store for 7 years, and I never thought I'd turn it into a career. If you asked 17-year-old me if I would be doing this in 20 years, I would have thought you were crazy.
Yeah, same here. I worked in a scrapbook store as well, and never in my wildest dream did I think I'd be doing this.
It's just the best. It's the best job. It's just really fun, and you get to be creative, and you get to meet really cool, great inventive and creative and innovative people, and I just have so much fun with it. But
well, it looks like we've got about 5 more minutes. So
perfect.
if you got anything else you want to show us, and then we're going to do some giveaways.
Oh, fun. Yeah, I'm going to show you a couple more mixed media projects where you can take your dies and kind of really elevate them. So speaking of stencils, this was another one we did with, it's in chapter 4. It's called Layered Hearts. Now this is what the die looks like. But again, I use that as a stencil for the background. Yep. And this one I did with acrylic paint and a dimensional paste. So that it had a little bit, I'm trying to figure out what the camera is. There we go. So it had a little bit of a dimension on the background, but I just used one of the layers from this to turn it into a background. And then I used some florals to really kind of create a nice little frame around it. And one thing I always want to tell people is with your flowers, the paper sculpting kit that we do, flowers are the greatest way to add dimension to any project that you do. So that's like probably the tool I use the most is the paper sculpting kit. And it's the greatest way to add 3D to your cards.
Okay, so tell us more about the sculpting kit. I've never heard of it.
Oh my gosh, let me grab one. So it comes in a little pack like this. And it is the greatest little tool set. I'm not kidding. I have like 5 of these at my house because I always misplace all the pieces. So you get in it a gray molding mat, which is what you use to create the actual dimension. So this guy right here. Okay. Then you also get these tools in it. You get a variety of stylus heads in different sizes. So you get the little round balls. You also get this one, which does quilling. And then you get these detailed tools to add like leaf veins, things like that on anything. And
I don't know why I'm thinking of my dentist right now, but
right? No, it definitely looks like those. You also get some scissors and you get a pair of reverse action tweezers. Every time I do paper sculpting, I use this, no matter what I'm working on. And basically you just take the flower and you push the paper into this in circular motions and lines. You want to create pressure, and that's what creates the sculpting. We have tons of videos.
So I'm going to be pulling this out, and you probably are not prepared for this, but can you die cut one flower and just kind of show us what you mean? Is that possible?
Yes. I'm going to see actually if I had any right here. Let me grab a die set real quick.
Okay, so while you're doing that, I'm going to take the banner off. So I know folks have been asking about the giveaway. So I'm going to change out the banner and let me go. All right. So while Alex is looking for that, and you know me, I'm always putting people on the spot. So I'm really, really sorry about that. But I'm really curious about it. I have never used anything like that. So I would love to see it.
I was trying to think what I said I had that had a flower in it.
So this link down below that you're seeing scrolling across, this is to register for our giveaways. And it's not just for the giveaway today. It's for all of our giveaways that we're going to be doing throughout the entire summit. Today, we just happen to be giving 5 of our VIP all access pads. All access passes. And if you've already purchased your VIP all access pass, no worries. If you happen to win, I will be just refunding you your purchase price. And also to note is that when after we draw our names, I'm going to be contacting you to make sure that you're a legitimate person and not some robot who has illegally tried to register for our sweepstakes. And you get 3 days to respond back to me. And then once you do, then I'm going to head and set you up. If it's a digital product like the VIP all access pass, then I'll give you access to the course. And if it happens to be one of our physical products that we're going to be giving away all week, then I send your information on to the sponsor and they're going to send them out to you. All right, Alexis, are we ready?
I'm ready. Okay, I'm going to do this as best as I can. So
okay,
I cut out a flower shape.
I'm going to make you solo so we can see more.
So
yeah.
Okay. I cut out a flower shape. I'm going to put it onto my gray molding mat. And then I'm taking my larger stylus tool because it's a larger scale flower. You want to tailor your stylus tool to about the size of the flower you're going to be working with. But then what I do is I just push and sculpt like this.
Okay.
And then I will flip it depending on the type of flower. And then you want to push down in the center. Now, if you have a flower that does this, this one's not doing that. So this one, I'm just going to make more dimensional.
Oh, that is cool.
So then you get this really kind of nice textured dimensional flower. This is not the flower shape I would probably use, but it's what I had handy.
Right. Yeah, no worries. Well, totally. That totally shows how you would use that. That's amazing. And that's, I've seen a lot of stuff advertised. Let me join this conversation that I'm having with myself. I've seen a lot of your examples and stuff, and I always wondered how does it kind of pop up like that. I thought maybe people were using bone folders or something, but stylus, duh.
Yeah, you could. I've seen there's this, we have the, what's this called? The fold and form tool. I was like, it said sculpting in my head. This is more so for like 3D flowers, like crepe paper flowers. But you can get, I've used it on small flowers too. And it is like a bone folder where you can get that shape. So you're not completely off base.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. So before we end, let me put back that link there. stampmesomlove.com/Sizzix is where you're going to find the links to all the products that Alexis has used today. So definitely want to go on there and get them before they sell out, because I have a feeling lots of people are going to be looking at those products today. So definitely check that out sooner rather than later. All right, Alexis, thank you so much for coming on today. I appreciate it. And I really appreciate Sizzix for sponsoring the event. I hope to see you guys in our next event.
Thank you so much for having us. It was so much fun to get to share some of our new stuff with y'all.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, I'm going to take you out of the stream so you can get back to creating, because you have definitely the best job in the world.
Thank you. I think so too. I can't complain.
All right. I'll reach out to you when the stream's over. So check your email. Okay.
Thanks so much, Brandy. Right. Have a great day, everyone.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Woo! Goodness, that was a ton of fun. So I want to apologize up front if I look like I'm not looking directly at the camera. I have been trying to move around some stuff. I don't know if you guys remember last year, but I had the computer right here, and it was a little bit awkward. And so I've got the computer right here, and I've got a monitor there, and anyway, I've got all the things. And so I'm not quite sure where to look. So I still have to work on that. All right, let's take a look at our comments and see if we've got any pressing concerns or questions. No, it looks good. All right, so let's get to it. We're going to do our VIP All Access Pass giveaway. Let me put the giveaway banner back on the screen. Also, I'm going to put that banner to register for the summit. If you have not already, make sure you go to cardmakersuccesssummit.com. And that link down below, as you see scrolling across, the stampmesomlove.com/CMSS -giveaway -Feb, FEB 2022. That's the link that's going to take you directly to our sweepstakes, our register for our giveaways. Once you register, there's going to be a screen there that will allow you to win extra entries, if you will. Things like liking our Facebook page, following us on Instagram, watching some videos on YouTube, subscribing to our YouTube channel, et cetera, et cetera. So make sure you look for that, and so you can get even more entries to win. All right, so let me hear from you. Are you guys ready for our giveaways? All right, so let's do it. Let me see here. All right, so we're going to do our giveaway. All right, you ready? Here we go. Here's winner number 1. All right, so let's see here. This is going to Karen, and her last name starts with a Z and ends, her last name starts with a B and ends with a G. All right, so that's number 1. I'll have to go back and watch this video, but let me just write Karen's name down. All right, let's draw for number 2. Who's ready? All right, number 2 is going to go to Denise. Denise's last name starts with an M and ends with an H. All right, and then winner number 3. All right, so this one's going to Kathy, and that's Kathy spelled with a K. And last name starts with a B and ends with a Y. All right, so we've got 2 more winners, 2 more. All right, so this one is going to go to Sherry, and that's Sherry. And last name starts with an A and ends with an E. All right, so we've got one more for today. All right, our last winner is going to Angie, and last name starts with a W and ends with an S. All right, you guys, so you don't have to be present to win any of our giveaways, but you do have to be respond to our email within 72 hours. So you want to make sure that you are whitelisting the email address support@stampmesomelove.com. That is the email address that it will be coming from. And just to make sure that you keep your eyes out for that. Now, we have a ton more giveaways to give away for the next week. So don't think this is it. I mean, I have all kinds of products right there behind the camera that is just ready to be given away. Our sponsors have been very, very generous. All right. Well, I think that is it for today. Thank you so much for joining us live. And if you didn't catch all of it, the replay will be on YouTube, so be sure to check that out. And if you are a VIP All Access member, you'll have a link there to watch it there as well. Let's see if there's anything else I need to talk about. Let's see here. Oh, almost completely forgot. So yes, so if you are a VIP All Access member, I want to remind you all that there are sponsor and speaker bonuses down towards the end of all of the items in your VIP All Access Pass. Those bonuses have expiration dates. So be sure to go in there and check them out. If it's something that you want to redeem, do it before the expiration date. It's not the same expiration date for everybody. So make sure that you go in there, take a look at that. And if it's something that you want, go ahead and redeem it. Some of them have special links to go to. Some of them have special promo codes. So be patient, pay attention to the details on each of those sponsor pages. All right, so one last thing. If you haven't already picked up your VIP All Access Pass, be sure to go and check that out. Like I mentioned before, you get immediate and ongoing access to all of the presentations that we will be doing during the summit. If you're coming to the free summit, you get 24 hours to watch those videos, and then after that, they go away. They get put back into the vault. But if you have the VIP All Access Pass, you get immediate access, which means right now you could start watching those videos. Right now you could start collecting your supplies for those projects. And you don't have to wait until the summit happens. This is especially important if you're in a time zone which watching the live airing of the videos may not be as conducive for you. It's a really, really great deal. I think our early bird price right now is $69. That price will stay the same until midnight of the 16th, and then the price goes up once we're in the actual summit. You get, I think our workbook is, I don't know, it's 300 pages and something. It's a huge workbook. You get a card project management calculator in that workbook to kind of help you gauge how many cards you need to be making each month. And then you get transcripts of all the videos, so you can quickly go through and see, where in the video you need to replay something. You get obviously all the bonuses I just talked about. So it's a really good deal. And I think you're going to enjoy it. And it gives you time just to relax and enjoy the summit on your own time. All right, you guys, I'm going to head out for today. It's been a pleasure crafting with Sizzix and Alexis. And thank you so much for joining. All right, take care. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.